They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And this offense often hinges on one of the best tight ends in the league, and that's Jimmy Graham.
I think he made up for lost time when he got to the NFL because in college he was mainly a basketball player, a defender who couldn't score. Now he's flipped it around in the NFL. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to score.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Coming out of UCLA, Anthony Barr caused many arguments in the NFL. Not about his talent. That was first round all day. But how would he be used? Defensive end, outside linebacker? With Minnesota, they use him in both spots, and he's been a Pro Bowler in 2 of his first 3 seasons.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, you might be a little jumpy as well. It might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. Oh, and now he bowls him over.
Missed.
It will not. Latavius Murray. Touchdown, Vikings. Latavius Murray, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Now a play fake here on first down. Trying to lay one up deep. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. Oh, shifty. Whoa. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. From the pistol, they run it with Murray. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Latavius Murray, his second TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Play action. Now Wilson. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 23. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. They go with Murray again. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3. To throw is Ryan. Finds Roberts left side. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another 1st down, almost back to the drawing board.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. That was 2nd down run for Murray. And some room to work. The 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Latavius Murray doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can.
Execution.
Now Parkey for the extra point. And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. Little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves them with 3rd and just a couple.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field, and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gold. Here's Jeff Locke now as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This will be taken at the 10. Spins by, and he'll be out of bounds right at the 35. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain. And Murray's still down. Maybe shaking up that go-around. Let's hope he's all right. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Now Ryan on second down. On the catch, it's Jarius Wright. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. Looks to be right around the 40. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll make it second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On second down, Ryan. Throw left side complete. That's Roberts. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Michael Roberts, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. From the gun, it's Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach, everywhere, seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawks offense now getting set to go again. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Now they try the right side here. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a fairly solid idea about which team will be featured prominently in those highlights.
Might be a little bias. Sherrills to return it. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here.
Watch tight, tight is right. Watch tight, tight is right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some space here. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part. Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. From the shotgun, Ryan. Flushed out right. And incomplete. Probably should have had that one, but with the game he's having tonight, maybe they'll let it go. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it. Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On third and goal, Ryan. His pass caught at the 4. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And Parkey's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Again on second and 10, it's Wilson. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. On first and 10, it's Ryan. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick. But instead it falls down incomplete.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
Second and 10 now, Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you cross-country to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando with our halftime report, here's Larry Ridley. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road. Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down to the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds and being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it second and short.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Second and just one. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go!
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
This time, Ryan will throw. Shreds the tackle. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make this a second down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd learned to ballet.
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. So they're going to go for 2. They go play action now. Ryan. 4th, and they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, But going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Linval Joseph continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take...
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They go play action here on 1st down. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. Give him 30 yards there. From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in Seattle, Washington. Now Ryan. Buying time to his left. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract.
Now Parkey for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Here's Parkey now set to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Wilson out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Here's Sherrills. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. And Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that because we got to try and keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsau? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here? Tell us, stretch this thing out a little bit.
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep them here.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On 1st down, Ryan dancing to his left. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Flush to his right. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullback.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Bobby Wagner in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. 3rd and long. It's Ryan. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got it. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponent. Now because they see them coming and think we've got no shot to beat this team.
Here's Parkey now set to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now Wilson on second down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. And the pressure gets to him again. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Here's Jeff Locke now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is fielded at the 27. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the offense moving quickly to the line. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And Rudolph has it left side. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Flushed out right. He finds Roberts complete. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Over the middle here to Rudolph. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Looking to throw. Knight. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the 1st, thanks to a flashy little spin move. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Seahawks looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now Wilson. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
They go play action now. Wilson. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
Throwing to start the drive. Knight on the run. He'll let this go deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 29. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the Vikings, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers.